We know this ain't right.
Man, this can't be life.
We gotta unite.
Where are you going?
Yo, hey man, what the hell is all this?
Back in the mid-1950s, the government started a little underfunded agency with the simple and laughable purpose of establishing contact with a race not of this planet.
If you look directly at the end of this device, we'll administer the eye test.
Everybody thought the agency was a joke, except the aliens who made contact March 2, 1961, outside New York. There were 9 of us the first night. 7 agents, 1 astronomer, and 1 dumb kid who got lost on the wrong back road.
Oh, you brought that tall man some flowers.
This way. They were a group of intergalactic refugees. Wanted to use the Earth as an apolitical zone for creatures without a planet. Did you ever see the movie Casablanca? Same thing, except no Nazis.
Oh.
We agreed, and we concealed all the evidence of their landing.
So these are real flying saucers, and the World's Fair was just a cover-up for their landing.
Why else would we hold it in Queens? More non-humans arrive every year, and they live among us in secret.
Thank y'all for tuning in to the show today. Galactic Federation of Life, Part 2. Right? And we're going to be going in. We're going to get right straight into it. Because yesterday we talked about 2 groups that are part of the Galactic Federation of Life. And some members, some of those groups are part of the other 2 organizations we talked about, which was the Galactic Federation of Light, ran by Aldebaran Platian, right? Okay. And like we say, that's a trick within itself, because how you gonna say you're the Galactic Federation of Light when light only makes up 1% of the universe? Understand that. So we're gonna be going in on that. And we talked about, right, the Centurions, not to be confused with the Centaurs, right? The Centaurs, the Arcturians, right, which are half man, half goat, or half man, half horse, right? Not to be confused with the Centurions, which are Nubians, right? Coming from the same area, because you got to understand, different people migrated due to wars that took place between Galactic Federation and Galactic Republic, and the Galactic Independent, which is the Galactic Federation of Light. So understand that several wars took place, right, in these different situations. And so people had to migrate. Like, for instance, the Peru, right, known as the Coneheads, and we told you they made a movie about the Coneheads, which they labeled as comedy, right, to try to move you, or try to make it look like a joke, right? These people migrated from Andromedans to a star system, to the Boot star system, right, where they set up, where they lived billions of years there prior to migrating to the planet Earth. And we'll get into that, because these Conehead people, right, who migrated to the Boot and dwelled on a planet called Joma, or Joman, right? And these people went there, and then they got into it with some more people there. So we're gonna be getting into that. We're gonna be going into it. Understand that the Coneheads, right, the Teru, have an degree of most have an degree of nature. Okay, we talk about agreeable being benevolent, and malevolent being disagreeable, and we talk about the neutrals, and there are 2 types of neutral. Understand that. They're the confused neutral, and the neutral that stands regular neutrals, regular neutral and confused neutral. Stand that, because the confused are worst type of beings, and when you're dealing with the confused, which is the Ashtar Command, right, which is the Galactic Federation of Light, right? There's a lot of tricky things going on there, because they're dealing around a whole bunch of trickiness. Understand this. But the big picture of this thing is the whole thing. Get this in your mind. The whole thing is about fertility. The whole war, the whole setup, everybody is trying to fight for fertility. Understand that. Because, like we said, insects, we're going to be getting into them from the Andromeda. But we want to talk about, like we say, the Centurion, right? The Nubians from some Centaurian star system, right? Are not to be confused with the Centaurs, right? We're from the same area, right? Similar. Being because these beings sliced one of the beings of these particular the Centaurians sliced his DNA, right? With these hard beings, thus creating the Centaur, right? We're gonna get into that. Okay? But let's talk about these, let's talk about this, because I want you to understand this. Because everybody had turned this into a spiritual thing, dealing with religion. They have dumbed you down, and really just messed up your whole understanding on what's going on in the galactic. So we want you to understand this: the solid, liquid, gas, liquid, solid, liquid, gas, past, present, future. We want you to understand these things. Because we must understand these things in order to understand the heavens. Okay? So if you got a solid, you take a block of ice, right? If you know anything about molecules, when they are cold, they jam tight, packed together. Understand this. And for instance, say if you got an automobile, and in the wintertime, your tires will begin to get low. Even when the heat, when it was hot, the tires, you add the tires up to the proper specimens. But when it get cold, the tire loses air, and this is because the molecules, once the temperature drops, the molecules jam tight back together. Thus, they become solid, just like ice. Now, if you take we're dealing with vibration and frequencies here, so you must understand this in order to understand how this works. We're dealing with vibration and frequency and molecules. Ice molecules together, thus creating a solid. If you begin to heat this block of ice, understand this. If you begin to heat this block of ice, it would then the molecules would then begin to vibrate faster and thus separate from each other and expand and become, for lack of a better word, liquid, right? Because of the speed of the molecules. And if you keep heating these molecules up, then they will begin to become gas. Understand this. And so, solid liquid gas, the state of solid liquid gas is dealing with the heat and the vibration of the molecules. That's all understand that these beings, right? These beings have the technology to speed up their molecules to where they become invisible to the naked eye. Because the gas you can't see. Some gases you can, some gases you can't see. Right? If you're not in tune, you can't see these glasses. Right? Every now and then if you become dizzy or lightheaded or start to see these little dots of light floating around, that's the molecules. Understand that. And this is dealing with the solid liquid gas state is dealing around, okay? It's dealing around the molecules being jam-packed tight together, like we said, it's a solid. And then once you begin to heat these molecules up and they vibrate faster, they become liquid, then gas. Stand this. And put it in front of your face and begin to wave it, vibrate it. And if you can get it going fast enough, it becomes almost invisible or multiple pencils. Understand this, because the molecules are vibrating faster. Understand that. You're vibrating the molecules. So understand that these beings have this type of technology to speed up their molecules and transfer to the gas state. And some beings who are more advanced can speed up to non-ether. Understand that. Clear light beams, clear Ethereum beings. They can speed their vibration so fast. It's ridiculous. Understand that. And we're descendants of these people. Understand that. So I want you to get the clear understanding on that. Okay? So we're going into it. We're going to deal with a new group today that's a part of the Galactic Federation of Light. Right? We got a group we talked about already, the Plate 10. Right? And the Alabans who are working together. Right? These are narcics. Some of them ranging between, from the males, between 6 and 8 foot tall. The females between 6 and 7 foot tall. They have a body doll-like appearance. Understand that. You have a little body doll, your kids, your daughter plays with a body doll. The blonde half, this is they construct. Understand that. The blonde half body doll thing is their thing. The one that projected this thought here. Understand that. So, because they're all about white power, for lack of a better thing. Third Reich type thing. So they were involved with Adolf Hitler. Understand, Adolf Hitler wanted to create his own superior race. He was in contact with these people from Aldebaran. They were channeling, right? With Madame Velasquez, we're going to it. No, we'll get down to it. So, Hitler wanted to set up this superior race. Blonde hair, blue eyes, Nazi, Aryan, Aryan race. And he was being channeled. He was being channeled from these people from the Plate 10 who wanted this plan because we told you they star burned out. Ash star, right? We told you they star burned out. So they're looking, the light, that's the light part of it. They're looking for this light. And you know anything about Masonic, right? The Masonic art, they say that when they're going east, right? They're looking for light. Part of their, the Plate T's Astar Command thing, right? Because they're looking for light. They're looking for a star to live under because their star is burnt out. And like we told you, Galactic Federation of Light is independent. They stand on neither with the Republic nor with the Galactic Federation of Light. So they're here doing all kind of shit, working for both sides of the field. You never know when you never know when to trust them. You understand what I'm saying? They're neutral confused. Understand that. So they're like I say, they range blonde hair, blue eyes, gray eyes, girls, light skin. That's like that. They look humanoid, but look, check this. Humans have a certain amount of body water in their body, but these beings, their body is not made up of about 25% water versus the human body on this planet about 85 to 75% water. So understand that they have a paste-like skin, right? No smell, no really bad smell, they don't get off a deep odor. So understand that. Understand that they're telepathic and they speak a language, right? Speak a language that is an old form of the Greek language, which goes all the way back, dealing back in Sanskrit and other couple more things. We're going to get into that later on in a later show. But they speak this type of tongue. It sounds like a Greek language, right? On their planet, they go to school for 150 years. Understand that. So they live between 700 to 1,200 years old, right? Depending on where they at and what they're doing. Right? They go to school for 150 years. Understand that. You don't even, people here now don't even live that long. So these people are about 300, 400 years ahead of us. Ahead of the planet Earth right now in technology. Right? And they're coming here. Just Google a man named Billy Myers. Right? Billy Myers. And you get a more idea on what these people look like and the ships that they drive. The cake craft. The cake-shaped, wedding-shaped crabs. We're going to be getting into them crabs, though. We're going to listen to the Plate 10, which are members of the Galactic Federation of Light, which is independent. They're not with us, right? And they took it upon themselves to name all their leaders and authority, the same flowers. Overstand that. They've been doing this to confuse the people. Because they're putting out information, calling themselves Uriel, calling themselves Mikael, calling themselves Sananda. Overstand this. But they're not us. They are intruders. Intruders. And they will be held accountable. On the day of judgment, on the galactic day of judgment, they will be held and tried and proven guilty. Overstand that. Okay? Like we said, the females, they're between 6 and 7 foot tall, body doll and appearance, pasty light skin, intelligent. They're really like hybrid robots, avatars, because we're going to be getting to that, the avatar. Because we must understand what an avatar is. Because Avatar, they made a movie called Avatar. And in the movie Avatar, they engineered a shell of the planet. The planet is called, in that movie, Pandora, which is really Naboo. We're going to get into that, right? Naboo. We're going to get into that, though. Okay? They engineered these people, cloned them, and collect this machine and transfer their consciousness to a different body. Understand what an avatar is. It's a shell, a car. Because understand, you now sit in a car right now. You sit in your car. Look out of your window, you call eyes. Look, right? On this ride called life. But it's another story. But this is a physical vessel that you're driving. And you are the real you is on the inside. Just look in the mirror long enough, you'll figure it out or figure it in. Understand that. So these beings are here on behalf of themselves, and they're looking for light. And hell, shit, they want yours. They want your sun. They want your planet. So they're here manipulating the masses through government and through avatars. Understand that. Because the technology in the movie Avatar is the old shit. We have created new ways of going in. In the religion world, y'all call this possession. People that's being possessed. Understand that. These are beings who are high technology, who are using this technology to drive, they create synthetics. Understand, they create what they call synthetics, hybrids, right? These are physical vessels that they create to use, to drive, to use in this physical realm. Understand that. And these people are controlling your government right now. Have your government of synthetics. There are vehicles used by these off-world beings, right, as avatars. Like I said, if you want to see it, get the movie Avatar. And you'll see how they transfer consciousness to another shell. Understand that. So this is active, and we're dealing around the avatars. And we're talking about avatars. You can't forget about mentioning the Hindus, right? The Hindus are avatars, or another race of people who came from another star system. Understand that. And we're gonna get into them later. But we're gonna talk about these 10 because we have a serious thing going on with these people. We have these people are tricky. Don't trust them. Matter of fact, beings who are refugees from the Pleiades Adamaric clan who took refuge on planet Venus, right? Because we get into that. Marathon and a couple of other fellas who came with this cat from Venus, who were Adamaric refugees, right? That migrated to Venus, right? With reptilians. We're gonna get into that. Right? Marathon, who came here, just Google Marathon, B-A-L, rest space, right? T-H-O-R, Marathon, Google the man, right? These veneers, right? Can't grow no hair on their face, slick to the side, type, especially type hairstyle, right? ranging between 6 and 7, so all the way up to 10 feet. Some of them, right? Having one, not having a long like the human, but instead of having two sides long, they have one complete whole long, and they're a lot stronger. Have some type of bacteria growing on their skin, so they don't like to shake hands or hug, and can't go hair on their face. Understand that? These Venerians, right? And back on was the captain, one of the captains that came here and was working with your government. These 5 years, man, it never looked the same. Looked the same the whole time. And he had to leave because your government was inferior and wanted to dissect them. But these people were agreeable, right? Agreeable refugees who were ran out of the Alabama and played teams, right? And they came here, right? And William Tesla was one of them, right? You ever heard of William Tesla, right? William Tesla, right? Who was a Venerian? Get the picture of him. You'll see it. He had a fake mustache on. Note that. Slick, smooth, baby face with a mustache. That was a clip-on. Understand that. These people can't grow hair on their face. And he gave your government the hybrid engine. I'm talking about, man, in the early, like 1900s, late 1800s, he gave your people the hybrid engine. And they still ain't really put that shit out to the max yet. Because you gotta understand that there's a lot of conspiracy going on here with this Galactic Federation. There's a lot of conspiracy. Because the insects are in on this, right? Because if you understand about insects, they can thrive in harsh conditions. Extreme heat, methane. They love methane. You know what I'm saying? You understand trash and flies and methane gas. Some of these insects, they thrive in methane, CO2 type atmosphere. So they're in on the combustion engine. The combustion engine, they gave them these insects gave this combustion type engine in order to pollute your air so they can take over. Understand that. That's part of it. We're going to be getting into that. It's part of the conspiracy that's going on here with the Galactic Republic. And reptilians, understand that reptilians thrive in the same type of environment. Reptilians, a certain type of reptilian. We're going to be getting into that. Okay? So there's a bunch of conspiracy going on here. And we don't say conspiracy because we know what's going on. It's a pattern. Saying that. This is a pattern. It's going on over and over and over millions of years, man. We got you down. We know what we're talking about. Okay? So, these beings, these Platinians, and these, like I say, bad thorns, you just Google that, you'll see. You'll see what we're talking about. These people gave them the, William Tesla, they gave them the hybrid engine, and gave them several other instruments that can be used and utilized today that would save billions of dollars and would be green. You'll be planning to be go all the way green with the information that these guys get over to the government. But they scrapped the hybrid engine, they scrapped all this information because they said we can't make any money off our oil. If we put the hybrid engine out, we won't be able to sell oil and gas. We're not gonna make no money. So they scrapped the shit, said make that man disappear. They gonna dissect him if he didn't leave or whatever. And hell, them guys got the hell out of here because they don't want to deal with these devils, right? These avatars, these fallen, right? Who are running your planet right now into the ground, right? Your planet is out of course, is out of whack. Because the real elders, the real gods are asleep. Walking around trying to steal me a little ass book. When we dealing around me at 6 trillion miles, man, 2 billion light years. They can't deal with that 2 billion light years, man. We dealing with that type of mathematics. And you still trying to read out the little book. Understand what we're telling you, man. Right? So we're gonna get to it. Because the Platinians, we're gonna try to introduce you to another race. We got a short amount of time. We got about 4 minutes. But we're gonna tune in tomorrow to part 3. We're gonna give you a part 3, right? And maybe a part 4 because we got a lot to go over here. Right? Like, so understand what's going on here. There's different groups of members of these different organizations. And everybody took sides. or staying in the middle, right? Because they told you about, they told you about two things, but they didn't tell you about the third thing. Because this world is a three-dimensional world, not a two-dimensional world. They gave you a dual reality, which is not reality. And I too already told you niggas that. Understand that. Right? We got 3 minutes. But like I say, tune in tomorrow, part 2, we're going to be going back in. We're going to be giving you more of these people that is involved with us. That we're dealing with the war. The war is being followed for fertility. Keep that in mind. For space. Because the Luciferian, the leader told you that he thought in his mind, right? That space is inhabited by anybody. It's just a bunch of the game. They playing games with us. We can take over. We can do what we want to do. That's the Lucifer's whole game. Do as you will. Right? These Luciferians. Right? These reptilians. These dragons. Which are different types. Understand that. There's a group coming from Alpha Draconis. Right? Who are members, the leaders of the Galactic Republic. Right? These are very aggressive. Very scary looking. Right? Lizard looking, they're different types, different clans. Understand that. They're clans, they got horns, dragon face looking, right? Range between 18, 25 feet. The females are taller, right? The females get taller because the female is most dominant in most reptilian clans. Understand that. And they lay eggs. Understand reptilians lay eggs. If you want to get a good idea on what's going on in your galaxy, there's different ways, walks of life, because we told you that this planet was part of a galactic treaty. So if you study the different creatures here, you'll see the different walks of life that's going on in your galaxy, because we brought different specimens here as part of a treaty. I'm going to be getting into that. So understand that. So what's going on? So this is the end of this transmission. We're going to tune in tomorrow. And like I say, if you lost on some information we read today with you, go back and check out part 1, part 2, Galactic Intro, and Galactic Federation part 1. Check out those tapes, and you get a more idea on where we're going with this thing. So this is powerful. This is new information. Nobody's really out here really teaching on this thing. So we're going to put this out because the ship is near. The ship is here. The ships are here. And they're ready. But you can't go out of space until you have your passport. Understand that. Because we're not going to send you out here if you don't know what's going on. You're going to be asking all these questions. We'll need you asking questions when we're trying to make our move. I move, you move. Just like that. And that's the end of this transmission.